Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome to what I consider the best game ever, Shiny's Sacrifice. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be doing this. I've been wanting to do this for quite a goddamn while, and sadly, only 2 of you actually guessed the game. Now, on one hand, that's wonderful, because I only had 2 keys to give away, so perfect. On the other hand, this poor game, I'm so sad that this does not get more attention, because it is such a fantastic game, and that isn't just nostalgia speaking. Like, this isn't a game like I played, it is a game I played years and years and years ago, and I'm like, oh my god, this was the best game ever, because I played it years and years ago, and nostalgia. No. This game is just factually, flat out, one of the best computer games ever goddamn created. And even today, this game holds up beyond any doubt or question to modern games. It is fantastic. It even looks good. Of course, it's low resolution. Some of the models are definitely low pixels compared to modern day stuff, but even then, you can't look at this and tell me this doesn't look good. You can imagine how this looked in 2000. Oh, good god, yes. So, what is this game? Well, it is a strategy game with a third-person view, which is something that has been done both previously and relatively recently, but it has just never been done well. This is the only game that has just nailed that formula. You are a wizard. You are in service to various gods that gives you various spells and creatures during the campaign, which is fantastic, which I'll be playing through for you. You will have access to a wide variety of spells and creatures, all of them wildly different from the different gods, 5 of which you can choose to serve through a completely open-ended campaign. You can choose to play as any of the gods in pretty much any combination. You can take a mission from God A one time, and next mission you can go to God C, and then to God B, for example, etc. A lot of games today use the term non-linear and lie out their arse, but this game is truly non-linear. And it has a pretty goddamn fantastic storyline, and I do hope you'll be enjoying my playthrough of it. In fact, I would go so far as to say that if you're going to watch any of my Let's Plays, this is the one. Because this game is just fantastic. So let's go into a little bit more detail, shall we? So, you have your creatures here. You've already noticed perhaps that I have summoned myself a little creature right here. If I can just grab his ass. There you go. This is a mana whore. And no, I'm not kidding. Read the text. Mana whore. These little monkeys right here are some of the most important things you have. They have precisely no fighting abilities whatsoever. But they grant you mana. You see I built the structures over here. This is a manolith. This channels the mana that is naturally available in the world from these mana fountains out to you via your little mana hole. So you can see this little blue stuff over their heads. That's mana. This is one of my primary resources. Mana and health is pretty much your only resources here, along with souls. But they can't fight. They are there purely to allow you to fight. And oh yes, you can fight. You have a wide variety of spells. Unique for all of the gods. You've got fireballs, you've got dots, you've got debuffs, you've got AoE attacks like this. Chain of fire, for example, slowly but surely ticks away his hit points until boop, dead. These are little neutral minions here. But before we go into the spells, I'll look a bit more of the creatures, shall we? All creatures have 3 basic, all gods, excuse me, have 3 basic creatures. You have a basic melee creatures, in this case the Cog, which is this charming gentleman right here. You'll have a ranged creature, in this case the Flame Minion.
How do you like your steak?
And the Spitfire, the flying creature.
Ready to roast.
Now, all of the gods have these basic creatures, but they often act very differently. For example, the Cog, this wonderful little creature here, the melee creature, he's pretty damn fast, he hits pretty damn hard, and when he dies, he explodes, which is pretty damn cool. A other melee basic creature is Charnel Scythe, that looks a lot like this, but it works by stealing hit points. They cannot heal normally. Well, these creatures regenerate, but Charnel's creatures cannot heal over time. They require to inflict pain upon others to heal their own suffering. A wonderful creatures indeed. Now, this flame minion here is a direct fire minion, which means that if I tell him to attack this little hut here, you'll see he'll shoot directly at it, and he'll set it on fire, which is pretty damn awesome indeed. Pyro, the god of fire and progress, generally his idea is he sets stuff on fire. And this here is a ranged flying minion. Some even have melee flying minions. In fact, quite a few of them do have melee flying minions. Now again, this guy has an AoE cone attack that sets stuff on fire, in sharp contrast to a lot of other tier 1 flying units that have pinpoint accurate attacks with some kind of a bonus to them, like a knockback for example. Then the gods have a debuffer, or a buffer, in this case, the Thick Ferno. This is a debuffer. This little beam right here doesn't do all that much damage, it sets things on fire, but it doesn't hurt very much, but it goes through targets, and it gives them a debuff, so he's a wonderful little creature. Another variant of this is Persephone's variant, which heals creatures, and Stratos has a wonderful little bug that's called the Vortex, that fires off a miniature tornado that does very little damage, but it throws people up in the air, which is fantastic for putting on enemy wizards, because, well, if you're in the air flailing about, you can't be casting spells, now can you? Now, this is when stuff starts varying quite a bit. In the case of Pyro, we have ourselves a heavy melee bruiser. In the case of the Fire Fist, Natural. Again, this guy is a melee basher. He hits things nice and hard, and he sets things on fire. It's a bit of a common theme with Pyro's unit, as I think you can already see. Now, setting things on fire is all very good, but very well and good, in fact. But there is a little bit more synergy to it than just setting stuff on fire, and this is where the Pyrodactyl comes in. The Pyrodactyl is a flying melee unit with a special ability, which is this one here. A lot of units in Sacrifice have special abilities. In fact, a few of them even have multiple based on passives and actives. This is an active. What is a Vicious Oil? Let's have him drop some of those peasants over there, shall we? So he flies on over, and he fires off the cloud of oil. Now, they are soaked in oil, and, as you might expect, oil burns, which means that they take extra damage from fire rounds, like, for example, this. From the Pyro Maniac, and boof he goes. Which means that Pyro's units are quite interesting in that they have a fair bit of synergy by setting things on fire and making them more vulnerable. The Petrodactyl is not particularly tough as a flying unit goes, but the ability to give extra damage to your fire units, which are pretty much all of them, is pretty fantastic. And of course there's the Pyromancer himself, or the Pyromaniac. This is a gnome who's built himself a little rocket launcher, which is there's that wonderful sausage he's got on his arm there. The art style in this game is something I absolutely love. The fact that the units all look organic, like this rocket launcher, it's basically just, he's grown it. He fires it from parts of his own body that you have in this sack here. I love that stuff, I do. But we've shown you flying units, we've shown you ranged units. The game has a few other things as well, because the game has artillery, and then that's where we have the Bombard. Oh yes. This charmingly simple fellow right here fires parts of fire, essentially. Now, he's not very accurate, God bless his little heart, but he doesn't have to be, because those are pretty damn severe AoEs he's got there. And they also do a fuller bit of damage, and of course, they set the target on fire. So, Bombards are wonderful little creatures. They're kind of slow and very inaccurate. But they are charming fellows. Also, the voice acting in this game is just brilliant. The voice acting for the cinematic intros for the gods, where they give you the mission objectives, are fantastic, and even the units themselves are just great. And, of course, this being an old type RTS, the more you click on the units, they give you different replies.
Hey, that ain't cool. You're playing with fire. Did I mention fire? 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 Fire?
Oh, I love that. But on to the last two units. We have a special unit here. We have the Warmonger, which is this wonderful little lad. You notice it takes a while longer to summon stuff now. This one is a interesting little guy. Because he's got a machine gun. Which is not something you'd normally associate with this charmingly sword and sorcery stuff, but he does in fact have himself a little bit of a machine gun, which is wonderful. It does AoE, of course, it says people of fire, doy, and he also looks absolutely fantastic in my opinion. A lovely creature. And then, finally, which we don't have enough souls for yet, the ultimate creature. So, how do you get souls? Well, you get them via this wonderful creature here, the Sack Doctor. Again, a distinguished gentleman here with the giant syringe. So, let's convert some of these fallen heretic souls, these heathen souls. We're going to be converting them to the service of our god, the proper god, who is Pyro, of course. We can also cast speed on them to make sure they get back to our altar a little bit, because how do you convert souls? Well, you sacrifice them to your god, of course, naturally. Obviously enough, right? So, while our sack doctors are wandering off back to the altar, we will join them along with our little improvised army here. They can go over there, I think. Another thing that this game did that was far ahead of its time was the fact that it had a command wheel. The UI is fairly minimalistic, and for its time it is ridiculously minimalistic, and in fact, a lot of the reviewers had that as a negative, like the UI is too small, I can't see what I'm doing, but modern times, this UI was brilliant and far, far ahead of its time. It is all very minimalistic, very linear. You can select all kinds of commands here, of formations, guard orders, etc. Additionally, if you want your units to guard something, it's really easy. You just click on what you want them to guard. Simple. If I want them to follow me around, for example, let's say I want them behind me. Phalanx formation. Click on me. And now they're going to form up behind me in a phalanx formation. Simple. Maybe I want them in front of me. Well, skirmish formation. It's so easy. It is such a fantastic system. I love it to death. And again, this is in the year 2000, okay? This stuff was revolutionary, and it was too far ahead of its time, which is why it kind of failed on the sales front. But enough waxing lyrically and poetically, we have got ourselves 5 souls. As you've noticed, the various creatures cost a varying amount of souls based on how powerful they are. Level 1 creatures, 1 souls, level 2, 2, etc. But now, the ultimate creature, the Phoenix. In this case, it is a big old flying creature with a ranged attack. Ah, doesn't he look lovely? Yes, he does. Now, this guy in particular is a very interesting creature because he's very, 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 very fast. You can actually see my opponent wandering off over there. And this mobility is really, really great because he has a decent ranged attack. You can see it hit. Fire hit. Ooh. Does a decent amount of damage. Nothing huge, however. It also does burning damage and again sets stuff on fire, which is where the Petrodactyl, that lovely little creature, comes in. Now, of course, being a max level creature, he's a pretty damn tough little old bastard, and you can buff him up for limited periods of time by casting, for example, speed on him, which makes his already considerable speed rather insane, as you can see, and I've forgotten to turn off Skype again. That's becoming a bit of a common occurrence these days, and you can, of course, also heal your creatures. So, I talked about the creatures, and again, remember, all of the gods have different creatures. Every last one of them have different creatures, and they all act differently. For example, like I said, another god might have different ranged units, they might have more heavy melee units, they might have more special abilities, etc, etc. So, for the abilities, again, you've got your basic spells. You've got a speed up, which does exactly what it says on the tin. You've got a heal, which again, pretty basic. And you've got a single target attack, which in this case is Fireball. Now, Fireball has an AoE effect to it as well, which is quite nice. I don't have anything to fire at the moment, which is downright sad, but we'll be able to rectify that soon enough. Again, all of the gods have these 3 basic attacks. 1 attack spell, 1 healing spell, 1 speed up spell. but they often do various things. For example, as with Pyro, most of his stuff are based on AoE, and are based on setting stuff on fire. Oh, here we go, we have something to demonstrate on down here, a monolith built by our AI opponent. While, for example, Stratos has a lightning bolt, which is higher single target damage, but of course none of the AoE. Graphically, the game is still pretty nice. The effects are serviceable, definitely, even in today's standard, and they were absolutely amazing when the game first came out. You've got a defensive spell, in this case Fire Form. Now, Fire Form, it doesn't give you that much defense, however, it does allow you to burn any enemies that get close to you, so it's an offensive-defensive spell. Some other gods might, for example, grant you a spell that makes you invulnerable for a short period of time. Maybe one that makes you harder to hit with ranged weapons, etc. All kinds of different stuff. Pyro is a very aggressive god, so again, you've got some more offensive spells. You have a fairly short-range spell in the form of Rings of Fire. I don't actually think I can cast that on a structure, sadly enough. It's essentially, it causes Rings of Fire, doi, to pop up around the enemy, which will do continuous damage and cause the target to burn continuously for a pretty damn considerable amount of time. A very nice spell against more powerful opponents, where it can just keep chipping away at their health for an extended period of time. Here we have some more powerful stuff. Ooh, our opponent is Charnel. We have one of his scouts up there. Let's see if we can't get ourselves a little kill on it, shall we? Come here, little locust. I want to murder you. Come on, don't be shy. Let's catch up to it. Ooh, it spotted me. But this is a level 1 creature. It doesn't present much of a threat to a wizard of my fantastical abilities. There we go. Pop goes the weasel. It falls to the ground and it allows me to steal its soul. It pops it over its head now as a heathen soul. This is essentially the basics of the gameplay. You steal the enemy's souls so that you can have more souls to build more creatures and thereby a larger army. Pretty damn simplistic when you come to think of it, but it is incredibly interesting to play. And the AI can be pretty goddamn challenging, especially later in the campaign. The AI gets hard indeed. Oh, here comes another one. It might try and interrupt my capturing process here, so let's just speed him up and get the hell out of there. Now, again, you have some more offensive abilities here. You have Explosion, which again is a pretty damn simple spell. It explodes things. I'm pretty slow on my mana regen now. In fact, let's bring the armor over here and steal this place so I can show off things a little bit quicker. It is an AoE effect that summons multiple orbs of explosive magic that then kills anything silly enough to be close to it. Petrodactyl coming up first. Let's actually just kill that off with a glob of oil, and then we can finish it off with a target attack. I think actually the fireball might be enough all in even of itself. See, yes it is. Beautiful. So, while our minions are busy bashing the hell out of that... Ooh, more of them. Kill it. Kill it with fire. There you go. And flying units can indeed engage in aerial combat with enemy flying units, which is pretty damn cool. Our Petrodactyl took a little bit of damage there, so we'll heal it right up, no problems. And we will construct ourselves a manolith here. Now you see, one of our creatures died, this one here, which creates a blue soul that I can get just by walking over it. That's the same for enemy wizards. Blue souls, they just walk over. So your own souls you can pick up instantly, enemy souls you have to convert. So, now I'm getting a hell of a lot more mana, because I have 2 manoliths, and I'm also close to a manolith. So, let's wait for a little moment while our Arch-Sack Doctor here goes about his business. There we go. Explosion. This is a targeted spell that you can target on the environment rather than a direct spell. Boom. That, as you can imagine, is quite dangerous to anything that is caught inside of its AoE. We also have, all gods in fact, have a basic defensive area spell, which essentially just, it's a wall. The wall does various things. For example, this wall here is a wall of fire, because again, pyro. It burns anything that passes through it. Charnel has a wailing wall of dead souls. That doesn't do any damage, but it seeps mana from anyone who passes through it, and these units require mana to fight. All ranged units use mana to fire, so if they have to walk through a wailing wall to get at the enemy, they're no longer going to be able to fight when they get out on the other side, which, as you can imagine, is a little bit of a handicap. You've also got some bigger, badder, nastier spells. In this case, again, being Pyro, we have Rain of Fire, which does exactly what it says on the tin. A pretty damn effective area of effect spell that will pummel the area with an artillery barrage of falling fireballs. Very, very nasty stuff, and the game does have friendly fire, so it is best used as a zoning tool, really. But I am sure a fair few of you have noticed this wonderful icon right here, Volcano, and I'm thinking a fair few of you are wondering, Volcano, that sounds interesting. Is that really as devastating as it sounds, or is it just one of those games that gives you a spell that sounds amazing and then just, you know, it's a bit of a wet fart? Don't fear. Oh, do not fear at all. Oh yes. Oh yes indeed. Oh yes. In fact, I think we're gonna be leaving now. That's a bit dangerous to stay. Oh, let's leave. Let's leave. There we go. Relatively safe distance. There we go. Much better. Now, if anything hostile or even friendly gets caught in that, well, they're dead. Simple as that. And as you can see, it has a pretty large area of effect where it throws out burning balls of fire as well. Now, all of the gods also has one of these ultimate spells, and they are all horrendously devastating. Pretty much anything that gets caught anywhere near one of these spells, pretty much dead, let's just say. Stratos, the god of air and such nonsense, in fact summons a tornado, which lifts you up into the ground and then throws you back down again, imparting falling damage. And you might have noticed, indeed, that the maps are, there's holes in the maps, because, oh, hello, enemy army. You are in fact on a flying continent.
Sir, yes, sir.
Which means that if you get thrown off the edge, well, let's just say that it's a long, long way down. You're not going to be surviving that. So, having shown you that, with excellent timing, our opponent has shown up. So, let's demonstrate some actual combat, shall we? Now, you are of course a wizard, which means you are a pretty damn potent creature in and of yourself. So let's see if we can't mess with his army. Let's cast Blind Rage on one of his larger artillery pieces there. If I can survive doing it. There we go. Ow, 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 ow. Time to run away. Let's heal myself and get the hell out of dodge. And now we are going to have ourselves a fight. Oh yes.
Your creatures are under attack.
Our creatures are under attack indeed. This is not an ideal army, as you can probably imagine, seeing as it's been all summoned for demonstrative purposes, but never mind, we will make do with what we have. We do have a fair few powerful creatures after all. The Bombard is doing his job, throwing his stuff in there. Let's actually target him on the enemy artillery. I didn't show you Dragon Fire, did I? Allow me to rectify that. Because what's better than a dragon? Well, a dragon is a bunch of useless lizard. Why not summon just the Dragon Fire, eh? That way, you don't have to feed the damn creature all the time, also, which is quite wonderful. Now, we are definitively losing this one, so let's shore up our defenses a little bit by healing the Phoenix, who is currently holding the line all by itself. But it has done an absolutely massive amount of damage with the Bombard helping out, so... Oh, that wasn't me. That was a mana whore. I shouldn't have sped up a mana whore. The enemy went very heavy on artillery, which killed off pretty much all of my basic units, but they are too inaccurate to really deal with my Phoenix. There's only the enemy wizard left now. We need to deal with him. We need to deal with him as quickly as possible so that we can steal as many souls from him as possible. So, we unload on him. There we go, he goes down. Now, this does not mean that he is defeated by any stretch of the imagination. Oh no. All he needs to do is recover enough mana to resurrect himself, either through mana holes or from a mana fountain. So in all due likelihood, The enemy wizard is going off here to resurrect, so we will be moving off to try and intercept him. Now, let's see, let's get a debuffing creature here to hit him a little bit with the Tick Furno, and let's summon ourselves a couple Spitfires with their AoE. Because, of course, now I'm trying to convert his creatures. The larger the creature, the longer it takes to convert. So while it might only take a minute or two to convert half a minute or so to convert a level 1 minion with a single soul, but to convert something like this, a rather large minion, it can take several minutes, and if the Sack Doctor, in fact, is attacked while he is converting an enemy soul, or even just carrying it back to your base, the enemy minion is instantaneously resurrected on half health, which is why it is extremely dangerous to try and convert enemy minions in the middle of battle. Now, the AI, he went away, probably went back to base, and can you blame him? This was a pretty damn bloody affair for him. This was also, by the way, one of the first games that allowed blood and scarring to remain on the battlefield. There's scorch mark from magic, there's blood of creatures just spread across the land. This was impressive stuff back in the 2000s. Oh heavens, was this impressive. Honestly, in my opinion, this is still impressive. This is a gorgeous looking game, even today, in my opinion. So, with the original skirmish concluded in our favour, let's see if we can't go and end this little battle, shall we? Let's summon another Phoenix. He did pretty damn well in that opening battle, so let's get another one. Does drain pretty much the entirety of my mana bar, but Phoenixes are certainly worth it. There is no continuous upkeep once you have summoned a unit, but of course, the amount of mana you have is always a little bit limited by how many mana lists you have, and how many mana whores you are dragging along. Now in this case, I have plenty of souls, so I can pamper myself a bit. I can go a full 4 mana holes to really boost my mana regeneration to the absolute max. But in many games, you have to be really, really considerate. You have to think about it, like, okay, I can get myself more mana holes, and I can try and play more of an important role in the battle, seeing as you are a wizard with you have all of these fantastically devastating spells at your availability. You are an extremely powerful combatant, but you're also completely and utterly reliant upon mana, so maybe you'd be better off saving some of those souls for creatures that are less reliant on mana, or in fact maybe some melee creatures that are entirely mana independent. There were some neutral mobs we killed off there. Oh, and we found ourselves another enemy army. He's still going pretty heavy on the artillery, which is not a bad idea, since I've gone pretty heavy on the large creatures. Now, this is where one of the really interesting parts of the game, because you can change the composition of your army virtually on the fly. So I see he has a lot of artillery. I'm going to try and back off a bit. I'm going to take the higher ground, while I summon myself a couple artillery pieces of my own, and I'm going to try and fight him downhill here. He's pushing his advantage because he sees my army is relatively small, so I'm going to go in there now. Do or die. Let's call in a rain of fire on top of him too. Let's just bombard him. If he wants to stay back and be artillery heavy, I'll punish him for that. We've got a lot of flying units, which they're going to struggle hitting. Artillery's taking damage. Oh, he died before we could save him. He's trying to convert some of the units, so let's stop him. Nope. Get your hands on that. There we go. There we go. Our flying units, he's trying to run away now. Let's not let him. The enemy wizard is still alive, picking up his soul. Let's focus fire on him. The artillery can continue on his fleeing units. He's trying to save his units while picking up the rest of his souls. Let's try and stop him from doing that. Can I pick up? There we go. I need one more soul. Can I get one more soul here? Yes, I can. There's another dead bombard there. So he's running in a different direction from his units. He's essentially trying to save them, and because it doesn't matter if he dies, he'll just resurrect. That's not a problem. But losing souls is, of course, a problem. He's sending them straight towards my altar, which is having me a little bit worried, because, of course, you're thinking that if the enemy can't die, then how do you beat him? Well, you beat him by destroying his altar, which, let's just go know that, is that big old structure over there. If he destroys my altar, I am banished from this world and I lose. If I destroy his altar, then he dies. So, it's a very bad idea to leave your altar unguarded, which is exactly what I have done, which is making me a little bit nervous. But on the other hand, this is a very risky maneuver he's doing here, because I had a lot of air units, and I had a lot of powerful air units, which means it's going to be very hard for him to actually get away with this. In fact, he kind of tried to stand and fight there, which just did not work out at all, and I think we've killed them all off. This particular gambit on his part did not work out, and in fact he has screwed himself pretty damn harshly. Now, that leads me on to another bit of a subject while I convert all of these lovely, lovely, lovely souls. Convert the heretic. Bring them to the righteous path of Pyro. So, the AI. I usually harp on the AI in Total War games quite a lot, bitching about all manners of stuff. Ooh, look at that, he's coming back to get his stuff back. I think not, sonny boy Jim. I think we are going to make it damn hard for you to get anywhere close to us, thank you very much.
You are Group 2.
Let's just set our bombards to guard this position. Oh, hell, oh, he still has some artillery, doesn't he? Oh, yes, he does. Let's pull back these units. If I can just keep him over there, I can convert all of his stuff and then just roll over him with superior numbers. What was I on about? Oh yes, the AI. Indeed, that was what I was on about. The AI in this game is extremely varying. Some cases, the AI can be absolutely brilliant. The AI in this game can be very, very hard indeed. I have lost skirmish matches in this game. The AI is not easy to beat, but sometimes it goes completely and utterly retard and can't do the easiest of things and is just a complete walkover. Like in this case, he's still just building mass artillery despite the fact that I now have a soul advantage on him and I have an artillery advantage on them, in which case he doesn't have much of a chance of beating me with just pure artillery. On other cases, the AI will almost perfectly counter what you are building. It's such a strange thing, and in general, in the campaign, the AI is considerably more difficult because he will start with an advantage of souls. And this is the few games where I actually consider that to be perfectly okay, because the AI makes such fantastic use. Oh, he's attacking my stuff over there. Let's send over the bombards over there. You can just click on the minimap to send units. In fact, I'm going to teleport over there to defend it. So the AI is hard. The campaign AI is very hard, in fact. Oh, those are dangerous. I don't want to get hit by those. Abomination that reach into their own bodies, ripping out their sickly intestines and throwing them at you. Nasty creatures. And as you can imagine, a creature that does that for ammunition is pretty goddamn tough. But with this many bombards, well, it's not that tough, sadly. Let's see if we can convert some of this while keeping the enemy away. The campaign is not easy. This is definitely old game level campaign, where the later missions in particular are extremely challenging, as you will be fighting a certain person, and I won't spoil who, but he's pretty much a god. Let's just leave it at that. So he's not a pushover. Yeah, I'm getting a little worried about what the AI might be up to over here, so I'm going to defend this this monolith right here by binding some of my creatures to it. Now, this is a fantastic way of defending exposed areas. You can teleport yourself to these areas, but you're not going to be teleporting your army in any way or shape or form, so it's very nice to have sentinels around here. You use this spell here, Guardian. which binds this creature to the Manolith. Now, this creature is currently regenerating hit points at an extremely high rate, which means killing it is very, very hard indeed. As is... well, that's not good.
That spell is not ready.
Yes, this is very bad. Run, 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 run. That spell right there is Charnel's ultimate spell. It is death. Okay, it literally summons the Grim fucking Reaper. You can see he's absolutely butchering all of my units in single hits. He does not give a shit. He is death. He doesn't care. And, oh shit, he just ran out of units. Uh-oh, shit, 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 shit. Here, kill this instead. Please kill this instead. Don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me!
That spell is not
Oh my heavens.
That spell is not
Time to run away, time to run away, time to run away. Ah, there we go, he desummons. Okay, yes. That spell is powerful. Like, if you thought the volcano was bad, how about literally summoning the Grim fucking Reaper, huh? Yeah. This game doesn't mess around when it comes to its spells, so absolutely not. I was thrown into such a panic there by the appearance of the Grim fucking Reaper that I completely forgot what I was on about. Oh yes, Guardian creatures, so yes. Just as I was saying that killing these Guardians are extremely hard, the enemy AI summoned the Grim Cunting Reaper and murdered all of them instantly because, well, there simply is no fighting the Grim Reaper, as you might imagine. Frankly, I'd be pretty damn pissy if there was, so let's do that again, shall we? Let's just cast Guardian on these two, and that should be more than enough to keep this area pretty safe. There we go. Now, I've had about enough of this guy. Let's finish him off, shall we? He killed all of my poor little bombards, which I just don't take kindly to that. So you can... Ow! Ow, slime. That slows me down, slows down my casting time and everything. It is his debuff spell. A pretty powerful one as well. And he is keeping himself well and truly properly alive. It's pretty damn hard to kill a wizard. In fact, in most cases, the best thing you can do is try and kill his mana whore. Because without any mana, well, the wizard can't really do that much against you. So there we go, we picked off his mana whore there. He comes back to pick up the soul, and there's precious little I can do to stop him. But now that he's eventually going to run out of mana now, so I'm just going to try and pound him. He's got up his magical defense, you see there, so they're limited in what I can actually throw at him. Come on, let's finish him off. He's made a bunch of Locust Guardians over there. I think we'll be able to finish him off there. There we go. Okay, so that's his altar. That's what we want to destroy. But first we need to get through the Guardians there. And this is where artillery shines, as you can probably imagine. That's a lot of level 1 creatures, so they're not particularly tough. But since they're Guardians, they're a lot tougher than they would normally be. You see, they actually survived that near miss pretty damn well. So we're going to summon ourselves a bunch of Bombards, and we're just going to lay into that bunch. It is generally not a particularly good idea to be charging Guardians. Ever, really, because they can be very, very, very tough indeed to bring down. Of course, 4 Bombards, well, that'll do the job just fine, thank you very much, not a problem. Now, we'll destroy his Manolith there to stop him regaining any mana, and we'll just pound him as well.
Your creatures are under attack.
You can go the hell down, Sunny Boy. There you go. Now we're going to steal the Manolith so that he can't draw mana from it. When it's a mana fountain, anyone that's nearby draws mana from it, but now when I've turned it into a Manolith, it now only channels its mana to me. Okay, we've got him now. We've got pretty much all of his souls. He is on the retreat. We're pushing him back to his Manolith. He's got a single Guardian creature over there. That should not be much of an issue. I'm going to assign my Bombards to guard this area, just in case. And I'm going to have my big boys go over there and kill... that's actually an artillery piece, so let's go and kill that. I'll have them go off and kill it, and just to be sure,
Reporting.
you can be my bodyguard, little cog.
Master.
You can be a master. Ah, he's so cute. You can be my friend.
Functions normal.
Here, let me heal you. Such a beloved creature.
Unit malfunctioning.
Your
Malfunctioning.
creatures are under attack.
Roger, roger. Does not compute.
Oh, I love this game voice acting. I really do.
Your creatures are under attack.
Oh.
Your target is out of range.
Why are you fighting me? Stop that. Oh, there's two of them, that's why. Okay, that's a little bit worse.
Your creatures are under attack.
That's... like you can see, my ultimate creatures are currently doing virtually nothing to these creatures here. Let's lay into the bombards as well. Summon some dragon fire.
Your creatures are under attack.
Just hammer them, and we'll keep our... Ow. We'll keep our ultimates alive. We should probably also keep ourselves alive, I'm thinking. There we
Your
go.
wizard is under
Ow.
attack.
One of them's down. Bring the other one down. Come on. Bring it down. There we go. They're dead. Let's cut off the last area of the mana, and now is where we'll kill them. Desecration. This means that I will sacrifice one of my creatures via a sack doctor, which will pop out any second now. Where is he? There he is. So he will now move to sacrifice this creature on this altar, which is the altar of the enemy god. Now, if the wizard dies, in fact, I do believe he's dead. Where is he? There he is. He's over there. You can see him on the map now. As long as I'm sacrificing this creature, he's going to take continuous damage until he dies or until he stops the desecration. Now, he currently only has a single mana horror, so he's probably going to die just from the dot damage alone, but let's make sure of that, don't we? And with this, you can always tell where he is, so any wizard... Yeah, there we go, he's down. And we go indeed, and off it goes into the heavens. Boom. Victory. Beautiful, sweet victory. So, this has been but the tiniest, measliest of tastes of Sacrifice, the best game ever, and I hope you are looking forward to the Let's Play of the game that will start as soon as the Call of Warhammer for the Empire campaign is finished. I will be allowing you guys to vote on all of the major decisions as to what gods we will serve, and I hope for an exciting adventure along with you all. It's going to be fantastic. You can take my word on that. Until then, I have been Arch. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon as we will together explore this absolute gem of a game. Have a good day.